Oh, baby, baby.
You're so weird.
It's time for the Pool B thoughts for the CWL Dallas Open yesterday. In the last video, we covered Pool A. So if you missed that one, be sure to go take a look. Pool C and D will come tomorrow and the day after. Yep. And then we'll also cover the open bracket and the final 2K this weekend. The Maven and Jack show is not stopping. Drop likes in the video, share it with your friends. We are doing this every day this month, so get ready, get hyped.
I'm hyped too.
You are hyped, Maven, and we're on to Pool B. So we already talked about, the 4 teams in Pool A. Break down who we're going to be seeing here in Pool B.
I'm literally going to read this so I don't screw it up.
Okay.
We've got LG with JCap, John, Slacked, and Octane. Ground Zero, Parasite, Pharaoh, Study, and Blastful. Vitality with Whalers, Riskin, Xerox, and Malls. Epsilon, Dave, Hockey, Vortex, and Insanitized.
All right, so, a couple new names on there. Insanitized from Epsilon, a big one. We're going to talk about Epsilon first, but the big overarching side of this group is that this is a little bit different from Pool A, that there's 2 EU teams and 2 NA teams. It's a 2-2 split. Pool A was 3 NA teams and 1 EU team. So, to kick things off, talk about Epsilon. A team that surprised a lot of people, I think, with this new 4th. One of the examples of, new young talent from Europe, trying them out for boots on the ground. We've heard so much about it in North America. Well, now they bring on Insanitized to this team, and he joins along with Dave, Hockey, and Vortex. Now, this is three-fourths of these guys that have done very well champs back in Black Ops 3.
I'm excited to see what they do. I didn't know the player they had, to be honest. I have no idea what to expect, but you got to trust that the players have an idea. I mean, they probably have played a lot in terms of this guy. Like they know what talent he has, so you gotta expect he's going to come in and do well. The question is, how's he going to do on land? And maybe he has some land experience that I'm not even aware of. He probably does.
It reminds me a little bit, and sorry to get off, but of Shawnee last year. When he started IW. Remember, we were like, here comes Shawnee. I remember meeting him at that first PSX event, being like, okay, see how this guy does, and now he's on that Unilad team. But
well, the one thing I want to mention about this Epsilon team, just to sort of compare their story in the 2K to a team, it reminds me of maybe like Envy a little way, in the sense that they almost collapsed at the end. Like they were in a pretty good spot. They were looking good to get into pool play. So the first couple of 2Ks, Epsilon gets top, basically what they were expected to do. They get top 4 and then get bopped by Splice, which I think was, well, I guess last year maybe not as expected, but right now I wasn't surprised. Splice is just destroying everybody. 100%. But then the final one, they end up losing Supremacy, I believe, what was it, round of 16. And it came to the point, I believe, if Supremacy would have, I think won the whole thing, because the deep run by them and Vitality actually would have bounced Epsilon from it. So they were in another scenario like Envy where they didn't control their fate for a little while, and it was very scary.
Aren't they the last team to have secured their spot? I think there was like 15 teams secured, and it was down to the final couple matches for EU on if Epsilon would be in or not, and then they wound up finally getting bumped on it.
The reason, the difference between them and Envy, and the reason it was very scary for Epsilon even more than Envy is, at least for Envy, the top 8 for North America almost stayed the same. So they didn't have that team that came out of nowhere and threw threw everything around. Whereas Epsilon faltered, and then 2 French teams were like, Here we go. Let's all of a sudden break into the top 2. So that was really scary. And this is an Epsilon team that's experienced that before. Think back to, what was it, stage 1 of the Pro League last year, where it's going down to Sunday, I believe, and they have to rely on something to happen with United. And they beat them, they're not going to get in. It came to like map count, and they were just sitting up there in the room, just stressed out the entire time. Like, these guys, for some reason, can't avoid those situations where they aren't controlling their own destiny.
They're like right on that cusp. And you talk about those teams that kind of made a huge move. The biggest of all, I would say, maybe of any team who made it into pools, was Vitality. I mean, that's the team that's also in this group, the French squad, Whalers, Riskin, Xerox, and Malls. This team has 2 top 16 placings, right? And you're like, well, only 5 teams get into pools. They're going to have to start in the open bracket like the French normally do at events. And then next thing you know, top 2, and that is their saving grace. It bumps them into what, the 4th spot in pro points in Europe?
Yeah, no, it was unbelievable. And I know there was a drama on Twitter every time there's a French host versus UK host. There's arguments every single time, but
they play for a further distance of 50 feet from each other, and they freak out.
They did it. They made it in. So I'm really excited to see what they can do. But yeah, they're on a very short list. Like, if you and I've talked about this. Like, if we had to pick the 16 teams for pool play ahead of time, if we picked the 10, 5, 1 from 3 different regions, I'm pretty confident I probably would have got everybody right outside of maybe like Ground Zero and TK, because TK kind of came out of nowhere, right? And Ground Zero weren't really sure. And then next up, Vitality. I wouldn't have had them in the top 5. So, yeah, unbelievable stuff. And I'm really excited to see if they're able to make some noise. What's really cool too, they're coming in from France. From what I understand, talking to some guys in League Ops, like this is the number of teams coming in internationally from Europe and from APAC as well. At least right now, it looks like it's so much more than we saw last year, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah,
the World League keeps expanding with that, and obviously the skill goes up. I think for me though, of all the teams in pools, this is my kind of good luck sort of team. Good luck, Vitality, because I have a bad feeling they're going to finish this pool 0-4.
I don't know enough about them in this game. Like, yes, I've casted these players at some point, I've followed these players at some point, but I haven't watched. Yeah, I haven't even seen them play. I'll be honest. So it's I don't expect them to crush, but
we'll see. We'll see. Simple as that. And then moving on, the team in that second spot in this pool, Ground Zero, Study, Parasite, Blastful, and Pharaoh, a team that I am extremely excited to watch because of, one, how good they're going to be in S&D, two, finally, Blastful and Pharaoh, who a lot of people have seen them and they've almost built like a fan base, one, because of how dominant they are in S&D, but two, they played a ton with, Nade Shot leading into this game, and kind of in that Ghost month we had where tons of people were following them as well. These are guys that have been on top of the Search and Destroy scene for years, and finally now are of the age and the mindset to now push into Variant, and what a great leader they have in both Study and Parasite.
Yes, I have mixed feelings on this team.
Okay.
There's part of me that, it's weird, I feel like my opinion on Parasite changes daily. There have been times where I have legitimately thought about just running at him full speed and drop kicking him. If you're talking about just him on Twitter at times, or
wow,
stuff that you'll see, like he just does some stuff that's just dumb sometimes. Okay. But with all the flack he takes at times from the community and how badly I know he wants to win and what a competitor he is at heart, like
you just want to full sprint at him and hug him.
Yes, like at the same time, I want to see him do well. I want to see him on top again. So I have a very not love hate exactly, but. No, I'm kind of hoping they do well.
Yeah,
but this team almost imploded like 3 weeks ago too.
It's the same with Aches. It's the same with Aches in regards to him performing well. It's like, if Parasite performs well, it's always a pretty good storyline. If Aches performs well, it's always a pretty good storyline. Simple as that. I think he's got the team he needs. I think they made the right decision with this transfer from playing with Bose to playing with Study. I think Study's a playmaker and Search and Destroy that they can add to this lineup. Consistency for me from him in respawns will be the big question. We saw that was a thing that really hurt him last year. Can he do it this year? Back in boots on the ground. Right now, they got 3 top 8s in the 2Ks, and I think that's exactly where they stand right now.
Yeah, it's funny.
In North America.
I knew they had 3 top 8s, but I was trying to look at the brackets just to see who they beat and remember what the round counts were, and I couldn't remember what their team names were, the 2Ks, because they just became Ground Zero, I think, at the end. But yeah, I mean, you have the self-proclaimed best AR in Parasite. You have the self-proclaimed up-and-coming 2018 Player of the Year,
Prospect of the Year,
and Pharaoh. So I don't know. I mean, I think this is a scary draw for just about any team because, like you said, the Search and Destroy and being a first tournament. I wouldn't want to play them if I was a top team.
100%.
I feel like if someone's going to pull something nerdy out, there's going to be like the Flashes or Poison or something the gas that we haven't seen that much of. This would be the team that might pull it out. Yeah.
Well, that's a preview of the 2nd through 4th seeds in this Pool B. The number 1 seed here in Pool B, number 2 overall in pool play. LG, for me, an absolute top 3 team in the world right now. Slacked, John, Octane, and JCap. First 2K, top 2, lose to Optic Gaming. Second 2K, top 2, lose to Optic Gaming. Third 2K, top 4, they lose to TK, who for me right now is, and we'll get into talking about them in the next video, but top 3 team right now, you could say, in North America?
Yeah, I remember when we first heard, first couple of teams you heard rumors about coming together before they were official, I believe, were like EG and LG. And they were so drastically different from me at the time, because when I heard EG, I was like, okay, so you've got basically 3 ARs, kind of, and apathy. When I was trying to put the team together, it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me at the time. I was like, this is going to be weird for me with roles. You have a lot of guys that have been leaders on teams. Like, how's it going to mesh? But when I heard LG, I was like, Okay, so
It's
you have
juicy.
You have the veteran, the winner in J-Cap. You have one of the best ARs in the game in Octane. You have a great dirty work, objective type SMG player in Slack. And then when you look at John, he's the guy that may not communicate for a solid minute of a game, but would kill 12 people. Like,
yeah, he's a champ MVP.
When you looked at the 4 guys, you're like,
here we go.
That makes sense. Like, it just was well rounded. It made perfect sense as a team for me.
And it also reminded me a little bit of the beginning of last year when they decided, you know, let's add in Saints. It was like, okay, this is them trying to gun for Optic, and I think that when this team was remade here, this is them trying to gun for Optic again. They've lost him twice in the 2Ks. That final top 4 was a Game 5 round 11 to TK. So they want vengeance this event. For me again, and we can kind of begin to move into predictions here.
Well, I want to talk about one thing real quick though. I guess one storyline which we haven't talked a lot about because there hasn't been a lot of like animosity exactly, but like that matchup of LG Envy, like you know, Slasher drops all these guys.
Yep.
Like how good would that feel if you're LG and just like 3-0 bop Envy out of a tournament? I'd be chipping.
Hopefully it happens in a championship bracket.
I hadn't really thought about that a lot, but I would really kind of like to see that. You gotta feel
we love storylines!
I feel like Slasher and Cap will be into it immediately, so that could be fun.
God,
but yes,
you know we'd ham that up if we were casting. I would ham that up day in and day out on stage.
You just got second at champs. You won champs the year before, and they're like, Slasher's like, nah, new team.
I want the 18-year-old guys.
You have to have a chip the size of this room on your shoulder right now if you're
that would be delicious.
Cap, yeah.
What type of chip?
I only like Tostitos. I like corn chips with or without
chips
salsa.
and salsa, boy. Oh boy, oh boy. But either way, our predictions for this group, looking at this right now, I would say I'm 95% sure LG is our top spot.
Yeah. I'd say 95.
Less than Optic.
100% for top 2.
Yes.
There's just no way.
But when it comes down to making some noise in this, I personally think that if there's a team that makes noise in this group and shakes things up, it's actually an open bracket team. That would have to knock Ground Zero out of that second spot. I'm sorry, but I have no faith in Vitality, and I'd love to be proved wrong. And with Epsilon, yes, we've seen them do pretty well against NA, that core 3 in the past, at like champs in a couple events.
But if I remember right, last year, Epsilon, so they had the right run of champs. Remember, at the beginning of the year, they were average at best. They didn't go on that run till Josh joined, if I remember correctly, last year, right? Like, they weren't doing well. Josh joined, and all of a sudden they were finishing well. So it's like you took out that catalyst. Yep. Yeah, so we'll see if Insanitize is that. But the big thing for Ground Zero for me, if Pharaoh and Blastwolf show up, and they're as good as they have been in S&D, as good as they are online, and they go to LAN and they are those guys, Ground Zero gets second.
Oh, I thought you were about to say they're going to take that LG.
No. I think they get second.
Okay.
Easily. If there are some LAN nerves, see, they think they're going to get nervous.
Yeah.
No, but if there are maybe some LAN nerves or slow starts, which we've seen with some S&D players, then I don't know. That's where that open bracket team comes in and maybe makes some noise.
Not the group of death here, though. Don't think this is the group of death.
I don't think we're getting there yet.
There's still a lot more to talk about with the pools, guys. Again, be sure to drop a like on these videos. The Jack and Maven Show, we're covering everything Call of Duty. It's what we do. It's what we live for. It's what we love. Your support of the videos means so much. Please be sure to share this with a friend. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Maven, any final words?
I don't want your support.
No, we definitely do want their support.
We do want your support.
Oh, God, I'm still teaching them how to do this YouTube stuff, guys.
I haven't sworn in 2 videos.
Woo! We're doing it, buddy. We're being PG, family friendly. Family friendly. Bye.